All right, before we get started, I have to mention that we are all acknowledging that this meeting is being recorded. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and any guests who may be in the meeting. Didn't actually get to check. My name is Ray Melendez, and I will serve you tonight as our Sergeant at Arms. As we start another awesome meeting, I'm going to ask everybody to do our best to avoid any distractions. And if you are not speaking during these times, please mute yourself. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pass this meeting on to our Wellington chapter president, Shastri Stewart.
Thank you, Ray. Great job for leading us in the pledge. Appreciate that. Love the background as well with the baseball and the bat and everything. That's really 100% America right there. Ding, first ding. I don't think we have any guests. Let me see. Oh, we do. Emily, hi, how are you doing? Could you tell us?
I'm great.
Yeah, could you just introduce yourself quickly? Tell us where you heard about Wellington Toastmasters and what are you looking to get from the meeting tonight?
I actually heard about it from one of your members, Connie's sister, who now I can't think of her name all of a sudden because I'm like tongue-tied. I rushed in here. Stacy, sorry, I'm so sorry, Stacy. I'm a life coach, and I'm just looking to develop some more experience. I mean, I've had some experience speaking, but I'm actually in the New York area, but she invited me. And since we're all on Zoom right now, I thought maybe I could at least, check it out. I wouldn't be able to come in person, but anyway.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, we do appreciate you showing up for our meeting. Feel free to attend, not next week, but the following week we'll have our Zoom meeting resume. So please join us. Also, if you want to discuss with our VP of membership, Micheline is our VP of membership. You can stay behind after the meeting and she could provide you some additional information about the club.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, as you can see, we have a very beautiful people in this club, very high energy, very supportive. So it's the best club to be at, wherever you are. All right, so we'll move on to our mission statement. The club mission statement states to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence. So hopefully everyone will be able to gain some confidence tonight. Now, without further ado, I'll pass the meeting over to our Toastmaster of the day, Shay Greaves.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome, Heon, our dignitary Heon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am excited to serve as your master of ceremonies for today. The theme of the day is make the day or each day your masterpiece. In reflection, there's a lot of things that you may not have control over, but you have control over your outlook, your thoughts, and you can choose things that energize you. And in that way, for me, that helps make each day a masterpiece because it resets my mind, it resets my emotions, and then I lean into the next experiences differently. So you can examine what that might mean for you. Make each day your masterpiece. As Toastmaster of the Day, I serve as your master of ceremonies, and there are 3 sections: formal speeches, table topics, evaluations. Before we jump into that, I'd like to call on Toastmaster Shastri Stewart for our invocation.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. And to go with your theme of the day, I really wanted to share this quote from Sant Guru. He's an Indian guru or mystic that has really transformed my mind in the way I think. And this quote, he says, in the vastness of the cosmos, everything is going perfect, but one nasty little thought in your mind can make it a bad day. That is lack of perspective. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shastri. Good one, lack of perspective. So you have the opportunity to provide instantaneous feedback to our speakers and our Toastmasters and our functionary rules directly in the Zoom chat. That can be a private message or you can post it publicly, but I encourage you to give constructive and supportive feedback throughout the meeting. Toastmaster Mayanna Hammond, please explain your role as counter.
Madam Toastmaster, the purpose of the counter is to note any word, sound, or filler used as a crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Examples of word fillers are so, you know, like, well, and right. Tonight, I will be paying close attention to words used as an inappropriate interjection, also known as disfluences. If I hear disfluencies, I will shine a light into my camera like this to inform you of your inappropriate interjection. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayanna. I'd like to call on Toastmaster Justin Gwynn to explain your role as grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. One benefit of Toastmasters is that it helps improve grammar and word use. Being grammarian provides an exercise in expanding listening skills. I have several responsibilities: to introduce new words to members, to comment on the language used during the course of the meeting, and to provide examples of eloquence. Today's word of the day is ubiquitous, defined as appearing or found everywhere. Used in a sentence, iguanas have become ubiquitous across South Florida. Synonym for ubiquitous is pervasive or universal or omnipresent even. The word of the day was chosen because a few weeks ago, our great Sonia Garate chose an amazing word, transmogrify. I loved that word. I never thought I heard of that word until just a few days after that. I was watching an amazing classic movie that I absolutely love. And the lead character used this word transmogrify. And it caught my attention right away. And I was like, oh, I've heard that word now. And it caught my attention. And it had me listening more to the actor and his word use later in that movie. Later in that movie, he used two other words in the same sentence, mind you, that I also thought I had never heard because I never listened so intently. Ubiquitous was one of them. The other one I will share with you in 2 weeks. But amazing movie. Many of you will know it. Everyone will certainly know who the actor was. I will accept any kind of guesses until I share with you what the movie was here in 2 days. But please feel free, if you do know this movie that uses the word transmogrify, ubiquitous in the same movie. It's an amazing movie. Anyway, I encourage everybody today to use the word ubiquitous. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Justin. I love when our words of the week expand our horizons. Toastmaster Michelle Gonzalez, please explain your role as general timer.
Toastmaster of the day, I'm responsible for monitoring time for each speaker. I will operate a timing signal to indicate speech length. Timing begins with the first definite verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience. As the general timer, whomever is speaking and has control of the meeting, please pay attention to the timer, which will be a clock that counts down. It will tell you exactly when it's red, green, and yellow. Based on the length of your speech, for the general speech, it'll be 5 to 7 minutes, and the timer will tell you when it's 5 to 7 or 6.5 minutes. It will tell you each time. As for table topics, it will be 1 to 2 minutes. And again, the timer that I would select will tell you will start counting down. For example, the one I have in my background, okay? Toastmaster of the day, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Michelle. For the sake of our agenda, I will let our table topics master speak closer to when we're actually getting into that section of the meeting. I would like to dive in and call on our first evaluator, Micheline Nimbard. We have 2 speeches in our formal section of the meeting, which are prepared speeches based on specific projects in our communication manuals or pathways. This evening, again, we have 2 speeches, and Micheline Nimbard, please provide us with the project information.
Good evening, Toastmasters, dignitary, and Woodland. The purpose of Woodland speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to his second speech. So this is his second speech. The speech is to demonstrate that he has applied the feedback that he received from his icebreaker to this speech. The length of his speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Woodland, thank you.
Before Woodland comes forward, the title of Woodland's speech is My Experience in High School. In the speech, Woodland talks about his life during high school. He will also be talking about his life before high school, challenges he faced, and how he overcame them. Timer, please provide the timing signals for our 2 speeches, which will be the same.
The timer will start on its own, unannounced. It will give you the time here, as you've seen here. So once he starts, I will click on that and it will give you the time as it counts down. So Woodland, you can pin that to your screen so that you can see it, okay? All right.
Okay. Let's give a warm welcome to Woodland.
You guys hear me? Okay. Do you feel nostalgic whenever you think about your high school experience? I do. Let me tell you why. Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Before high school and even middle school, I was a bad kid. As I mentioned in one of my speeches, my dad was deported. Not having my father around caused me to become angry at school and have behavioral problems. I would often disobey the teachers, and I even got kicked out of a school named Barton Elementary. But my evil ways started to die down after the 2nd grade. When I was in school, I had 1 or 2 friends. For the most part, I was to myself. I was not very social, and I saw that as a blessing because I didn't get caught up doing bad stuff like stealing or selling drugs, like some people I went to high school with. Given the right group of friends and surroundings, I would have probably fell into that route. I also grew up as one of Joe's witnesses. It was different because I would often have to excuse myself from doing certain projects that involve politics, holidays, and stuff like that. Other than that, I would pretty much keep it a secret from my peers. Now that I'm not in school, I'm more open about my belief. And we do have Zoom meetings, not because of the coronavirus. You guys are open to attend. I'll be putting the meeting information later in the chat. So I went to 2 high schools. One of them is Lakeworth High School, which I only attended in 9th grade. Then my mom decided to put me in a charter school called South Tech Academy, which I attended 10th through 12th grade. Although I was disappointed with the decision my mom made at first, it ended up being a good choice for me in the long run. I will explain that tonight. When I graduated from South Tech, me and my mom were proud. I was especially proud that my mom put me in South Tech because I was given an opportunity that is not ubiquitous to most people who attend high school. Allow me to go into detail. South Tech ended up being a good choice for me in the long run because they offer a number of different academic programs, which Lake Worth did not. You have the choice of being in finance, JROTC, auto, nursing, computer science, and the list goes on. I chose to be in finance because I feel like it would help me make smart financial decisions in the future. From there, they taught me financial skills, entrepreneurship, business, and you don't really see that in public schools. Overall, what I learned in high school is that I shouldn't put things off, which are top priority. Often when I had big projects, I would procrastinate on them and put them off until later. And then when the day came closer to present those projects, I would struggle to get everything done last minute. By doing this, it brought unwanted stress. With that being said, I wish I knew about the importance of time management in high school. Some of the things I've learned in the past to tackle my procrastination is to plan ahead by making a schedule. I plan every week on Sunday. When I make my schedule, I write down every single thing that I'm going to do for the next week, even the clothes that I wear. And that's the easy part. The hard part is actually doing them, the things on my list. That's why I gave myself deadlines. For example, one of my goals is to take my baby brother to Disney World if I sell 10 houses this year. How I will achieve that is by prospecting on a daily basis and reaching out to people who may have or knows somebody who has real estate needs. My deadline to reach this goal is December 31st. Also, with the help of my friends at Toastmasters, I can conquer this weakness I have. Writer Thomas Merton once said, weakness and deficiencies play the most part in our lives. It is because of them that we need others and others need us. We are not all weak in the same spots. And so we supplement and complete one another, each one making up himself for the lack in another. By attending Toastmasters every Monday, not only will I improve my speaking skills, but also my preparation skills. Toastmaster of the day.
Wow, Woodland. Awesome job, man. First of all, I just always love your presentation of self, decked out in this nice suit, the glasses, the tie, it all looks so good together. And then second of all, I just love to hear your heart for your family and how you integrate that into your goals as your big why. So just kudos to you. Good job, Woodland. Next, I'd like to call on Toastmaster Michelle Gonzalez, Sujana Tulahard, to give the speech project and information for our next speech.
Good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Ray Melendez, his pathway is presentation mastery. He is at level 2, which is effective body language. His project title is Living a Disciplined Life. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sujana. The title, again, is Living a Disciplined Life. Ray will talk about how we often are looking to put more discipline in our lives. He will be talking about the true value of being disciplined and how much of it we really need. Let's give a warm welcome to Ray Melendez.
How many of us have realized or noticed someone else living a disciplined life? How many of us have said to ourselves at some point in our lives, if I was just more disciplined, I could be fill in the blanks. A better speaker, a better writer, a better driver, better at exercising, or even visiting or doing a follow-up with the doctor. But do we really need more discipline? Do we need more discipline than what we currently have? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. If we haven't said it, I'm sure a number of us have heard, I just need more discipline. But the truth is, we probably don't need more discipline than what we currently have. We just need to manage our discipline better. When we say, I need more discipline, what we need is the habit of doing what we want to get done and just enough discipline to get started a new habit within our lives. We often get the word discipline and habit mixed, but even though they have separate meanings, they connect to form the foundation of achievement. When you're disciplined, you begin training yourself to behave a certain way. And if you stick with it long enough, it becomes a routine or a habit. In other words, we need discipline to get our habits started. So when you see others and you believe that they're living a disciplined life, these are people who have trained themselves with a set of habits in their lives. They may look more disciplined when they're actually not. They just prioritize the right set of habits. You don't need to be disciplined to be a successful person. You can be successful with less discipline than what you think. Success is about doing the right thing, not doing everything right. I'll repeat, success is about doing the right thing, not doing everything right. So we have to be selective with our discipline and choose the right habits, one at a time. Michael Jordan chose basketball. Michael Phelps chose swimming. Eddie Murphy chose comedy. They used selective discipline. So you may be asking yourself, Ray, once I have the discipline to start a new routine, how long will it take to become a habit in my life? I can tell you right now, it'll vary. I've read a few articles and I've seen studies that have taken 2 weeks. Some of them have taken over 200 days to form a new habit. But in 2009, research at the University College of London showed that it took an average of 66 days to form a new habit. That is a routine to become a part of our new normal life. It'll vary depending on the habit itself. If the habit is hard, well, it may take longer. If it's easy, it may take less than 66 days. At the end, habits are only hard at the beginning of the journey. Once they become a part of a routine, it becomes easier to sustain. Stay with the discipline long enough and it'll become a habit. It'll become a part of your life. And then you'll have less discipline to keep your habit in place. During my first meeting here at Toastmasters, one of the members spoke about Charles Duhigg's book, The Power of Habit. It's one of my favorite books. The book talks about how habits emerge, how when a habit emerges, the brain stops participating in decision-making. It's automatic. It stops working so hard and it can divert its focus on other areas. I'll give you an example. This month, I started running with my sister. Now, I'm not a professional runner, but I've been running actually for a few years, but my sister was just getting started and I wanted to give her a hand. At some point, she asked me, once she can get the routine in place, she's not sure where she should go next. Should she try increasing her pace or increasing her distance? I responded, once you have a routine and have it as a habit, pick what your next one is, increasing your distance or your pace. Focus on it to be part of your new habit. Use selective discipline to develop these habits. Focus on one habit at a time. Give each habit time so that it's part of your routine and so that it becomes a part of your norm. Once you have mastered this habit, you can build upon it. In other words, expand on it, or you can build another one. You just need enough discipline to start a new habit. Instead of being a person of discipline, try being a person of powerful habits. Madam Toastmaster.
Wow, Toastmaster Ray, I am always impressed by your speeches, the valuable tools that you give us in such a clear way, well organized. I just commend you. Also, let's give him a round of applause. Just so many takeaways. Success is about doing the right thing, not doing everything, and so much more. So thank you, Toastmaster Ray. I'd like to take a brief moment to check on our timers report. We're all speeches within time.
Toastmasters of the day, all speeches were in time, and according to our schedule, we are on time. 7:23, speaker number 3.
Okay, thank you so much. Members and guests, as a gentle reminder, please give feedback to our speakers and our functionary roles. Even me, if you have something to say, we can send direct messages through the Zoom chat, or you can reach out after the meeting via text. It's always good to encourage our fellow Toastmasters as they're growing and you see growth. They may not see it within themselves. So calling it out and also challenging them in areas that they might need strength. The second section of our meeting is table topics. This is an opportunity for members to develop their extemporaneous speaking skills. I'd like to call on our Toastmaster, Denny Lamore. Let's give him a round of applause.
Can everybody hear me? Excellent. The Topics Master gives members who are not assigned a significant speaking role the opportunity to speak during the meeting. I challenge each member with a subject and they respond with a 1 to 2 minute impromptu talk. Are we demonstrating the timer today? No, okay, no problem. Speech time frame is 1 to 2 minutes. The topic will be repeated 2 times. And it's time to get super present and focused now. All right, and I will be calling on you after I have stated the topic. The table topics reflects the theme of the meeting today. And today the theme for the table topics is make each day your masterpiece. Please use the word of the week as well as any other word that you can recall from the prior meetings. And our word of the week this week is ubiquitous. All right, let's proceed with table topics. Question number 1. What inspires you to be productive every day? Question number 1. What inspires you to be productive every day? Oh, and before I actually call on somebody, is everyone that is participating today in our meeting willing to participate during table topics? Our guest, Emily, Julie, is everyone participating today? Quick thumbs up. All right, excellent, excellent, excellent. So I'll repeat the question number 1 one more time for everyone. What inspires you to be productive every day? Emily Wong. All right.
Oh, are you calling on me to go first? I love it. Oh, gosh. Well, that is an excellent question or topic, I think, because especially now during the pandemic, it can be very difficult to be motivated day after day when you don't have a job that requires you to be in a certain place at a certain time. So if you're still working, not so much of a problem, but when I'm not working, I think the thing that keeps me productive is my interest in learning and growing and being productive. I mean, that's actually something that's very important to me. And often I will not allow myself to sleep enough because I'm trying to be productive way into the wee hours of the night. So for me, in some ways, it's an opposite problem of learning how to let go and take time to relax and rejuvenate. But I think that having a good morning routine of stretching, maybe doing some kind of a little meditation, some type of exercise that gets you centered, that for me is very helpful in the long run with being particularly productive during the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. That was beautiful.
Oh.
And all that we do in attempts to be our best selves every day, right? All right, on to question number two. In what environment do you believe you'd be the happiest? In what environment do you believe you'd be the happiest? Julie Graves.
Thank you, Denny. I believe the environment that makes me most happy is the one that I am in currently. You may not know this, but about 18 months ago, I relocated from Indianapolis, Indiana to Fort Myers, Florida, because I was not happy there due to the cold weather. I was born and raised in Indiana. I have dealt with winter after winter, ice storms, snow, sleet, and cold weather for so many years. And finally, I came home after being caught up in the polar vortex in Green Bay, Wisconsin on January 27th, 2019. It was 50 below zero, the wind chill, the actual temperature was -21, and I thought my face had cracked into a million pieces. When I arrived back home into Indianapolis, I shared with my husband. I said, Anton, I really want you to come with me, and I hope you really think about this, but I am moving to Florida. And that was in January of 2019. We came down, we looked at property, we signed a contract, we moved in October 2019. I have been here ever since. I like the summer, I like the humidity, I like the heat, I like to sweat, I like to be outside. I don't mind the snakes, the gators, the rats, the bugs. I enjoy this warm weather, and I am in my most happy environment right now. Toastmaster Denny.
Thank you so much, Julie. That was so beautiful. Heartwarming. Welcome, welcome to the family of Floridians that we have all created. Yes, I've never dealt with under 50, 50 below. That's.
I don't recommend it.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. On to the next question. That one. Okay, question number 3, everyone. This is a doozy. If you conjugated all of the smartest minds and richest pockets in one room, what would you want to tell them? If you conjugated all of the smartest minds and richest pockets in one room, what would you want to tell them? Toastmaster Highland Green.
Mr. Table Topics Master, it's quite a tall order for me to even begin to conjugate the smartest minds, the smartest people in one room, much less what I want to tell them. I know what I want to tell myself every day, and I hope what I tell myself every day will resonate with the smartest minds, which is one word: balance. Especially these days, I've been thinking about balance a lot. I have had some tough few days at work. It was very stressful because I represent my colleagues in advisory board, and the concerns they bring, the difficulties they bring overwhelmed me. And I knew I could not satisfy their needs. And I said to myself, Hyun, keep a balance. There is so much you can do, so much you cannot do. And the point is to find the balance where I think I'll be most effective. I hope the brilliant minds in this one room will come to realize that they too need balance in their lives. Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you so much. Balance, something we truly all need. Appreciate that dearly. Time check. Do we have time for more questions? Yes. It seems as though we do. On to the next question. Question number 4. If you were having the greatest day of your life and had 4 hours left before bedtime, what would you do? If you were having the greatest day of your life and had 4 hours left before bedtime, what would you do? Toastmaster Jack Miller.
Mr. Toastmaster, well, if I was having the greatest day of my life, I would know that I was hot and I better use it for something good. So I'd go on out and I'd start saving souls and saving minds. I'd find someone that was totally lost or a whole group of people that were lost and get them fired up for God. Let them know that everything's possible, that they don't have to be hung up on the little crap that's going on in their life, that there's a much bigger, better plan out there waiting for us. And I know that they would know that its ubiquitous situation that they're in can be transformed to the best day of our life. So if I'm hot and I'm on that day, that's what I gotta do. Now, if I'm not hot and I'm not on that day, then I guess I'd have to go to my beautiful bride over here in the corner, Consuelo, and get motivated to get back out there and do it anyhow, because that's the thing that our life is all about. Getting happy, getting to know that God is our Father and we are all brothers and sisters. Let's get rid of this Republican, Democrat, black, white, Oriental, Mexican, brown. It doesn't matter. If there's one God, there's one family, and we are all part of it. Mr. Toastmaster, back to the ubiquitous self that you are.
Oh, thank you so much, Jack, for sharing the love. That was so beautiful. I know everyone felt that. That was powerful, very powerful answer. Truly do appreciate that. Okay. I feel like as though we have time to fit in another one. What do we all say? Yes? All right. Rock on. Question number 5. If you could learn any skill within the next year, what skill would you learn and why? If you could learn any skill within the next year, what skill would you learn and why? Toastmaster Miana.
Denny, thank you so much for that question, because there are some skills that I really wish I knew during this pandemic. The first skill, and I guess the only skill that I really would love to learn, is carpentry. I have been living in my first, I want to say, used house ever in my life, and I hate these tile floors so much that it sickens me every time I walk in the house. So if there was a skill set that I could learn, it would be how to lay tile. And I hope there's somebody on this Zoom screen that has that skill set and would be willing to share some tips and ideas with me. I know that I could easily pay someone $20,000 to reset the floors in my entire house, but who wants to do that? When you watch, all these TV shows like HGTV, they make it look so easy. And it does look easy, and I know it's not, but that is one skill set that I wish that I knew how to do, because I have the time to do it, because I'm home all day, every day. Toastmaster Denny.
Thank you. Thank you, Miana. That was beautiful. Carpentry. Pretty sure that's what Jesus did, right? Am I mistaken?
Yes, he did. That was the last one today, though.
All right. All right. Do we have time for more? It seems like I'm running through these questions.
No more.
No more. The last one was gonna be a doozy, okay?
Well, we look forward to 2 weeks when you'll be our Toastmaster of the day again. I mean, our topics master. All right, let's give a round of applause for Denny. That was an awesome table topics. I'd like to check on our timers, a brief timers report where all speeches within time.
Toastmaster of the day, all speeches were in time, within the time allotted. Sorry.
Thank you. And now I'd like for our poll to be launched.
Ending first poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get the next one. Ending poll. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ray. Now I would like to move on to the third section of our meeting for today. It is the gift of instant feedback, a key part of the success of a Toastmaster program. Please welcome Toastmaster Connie Andrews as our general evaluator.
Good evening, Toastmasters, Madam Toastmasters, and dignitaries and guests. I've been watching the meeting from the beginning, so I will be making at the end of the meeting an overall comment of today's flow and giving you feedback. So at this time, I would like to introduce our first evaluator and evaluating evaluating Woodland Cassius. Please welcome Toastmaster Micheline Nemhard.
Good evening once again to all our Toastmasters and guests, and especially Woodland. Woodland, you did awesome. It just brings me back to the first meeting, which your face was there and you wanted to be engaged, but you were so shy. I was so impressed that you came alive in your second speech, especially when you talked about your religion, because that is definitely an area where people shy away from and do not want to talk about it. But you lit up, you smiled when you said, I am a Jehovah's Witness. That was bold of you. So you stepped into your truth and honesty. So I thank you for that. Two areas that I will give feedback that I think you could improve on. Step back away from the camera just a little bit, because we're just seeing your neck up and we wanted to see your body, your upper body, so at least we can see your gesture and how relaxed you are. And give us some eye contact. And your comfort level, because in some areas as you were speaking, you kind of went down lower in voice, in tone, where you started to feel, I guess, a little weak and shy again. So come forward, be bold. This is about you. You're speaking your truth, so be bold about it. Where you excel, You share your life journey with us. You were comfortable in certain areas, but the speech was well organized. You took us through your whole life journey as a child to an adult, so it was well organized. You left us with a quote, and I think that quote will be something that you will be working on because it lit a fire in you and you made some commitment. So as a Toastmaster, you're committed and you share some goals with us. And we are here to support you every day. So keep up the good work and keep that fire.
Evaluating Toastmaster Ray Melendez. Please welcome Toastmaster Sujana Talahar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Connie. And especially thank you to Ray. Ray, what an awesome speech. I think this is one of the speech. You started off very strong, asking us so many questions. And we could tell that you were at ease and you were very comfortable compared to your other speeches. And what really made me smile was the accent that you used. I wish I can mimic the accent that you did when you said, I need more discipline. The way you said it, it was fantastic. And what I really love about your speech is not this one, in other speeches too, you always provide some informational. For instance, 66 days to form a habit. I thought it was 21 days. I might be wrong. Your research sound really compelling. And not only that, you even did a reference to power of habits, that which you heard in Toastmaster. So those were really good points. You used the reference, you used some informational, you asked the question, you did all of these things right. Areas of improvement, I would say eye contact. It almost looked like you were reading at some point. Wish you had done more eye contact with the audience. That would have made your speech more compelling. And the vocal variety, it was better than before. There was highs, but mostly it was very flat. So I would really encourage you to work on the vocal variety. Body gesture is something that you asked me to focus on. I could tell that you are using your hands, but because there's only this much space in Zoom, it's hard to see the full body gesture that you are doing while you are giving a speech. So maybe standing up, couldn't tell whether you were standing up or sitting down, being more not just the face, like to see the whole body to doing the speech, that might be helpful. Overall, it was a really good speech, very informational. You were at ease and comfort. One of the other areas of improvement I would want to recommend is you have a lot of stories. I love the story about your sister. If you insert few more stories, personal stories in the speeches that you give, I think that will make your speech more impactful. Thank you. Great job. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Okay, that was great. May I please have the timer's report on the speech evaluations?
Madam Evaluator, General Evaluator, all speeches were within the allotted time.
Can we vote for the best evaluator? Are we ready to do that, Ray? Toastmaster Micheline Nemhard, evaluator number 1, and Toastmaster Sujana Tuldahar, evaluator number 2.
Oh, I have to remove one. First one. Give me a minute. I forgot to adjust this one.
We can come back.
Thank you.
Do we have a grammarian report at this time?
Yes,
Justin
certainly.
Gwynn.
Yes, certainly, general evaluator. The word of the day, ubiquitous, was used 3 times today. are the following notable phrases. One nasty thought can make a bad day. We're all not weak in the same ways, so we supplement and complete one another. Success is about doing the right, not about doing the right. Wait, hold on. Success is about, hold on, I have that. Not doing. Success is about doing the right thing, not doing everything right. Got that. Didn't I get, is that right, Ray? I think so. A couple grammatical errors that I heard today. There was some use of singular words where plural was more appropriate and present tense and past tense. So just be aware of those improper grammatical uses. This concludes my report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Okay.
We can launch the last poll. We are ready.
Okay, great. Thank you, Toastmaster Ray Melendez.
Ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
At this time, let's have an our counter report, and that's Mayana Hammonds.
General Evaluator, the total number of fillers used by the club today is 15. The most fillers by a member was 5. The most commonly used filler word today is used 14 times today. The following Toastmasters did not use any filler words during the meeting. They are Shastri, Jack, Sujana, Hyan, Ray, Julie, Micheline, and Michelle. That concludes the counter report, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayana. Micheline, I just want to comment on your evaluation. It was a great evaluation. I love your evaluations because you really speak from the heart. And you're such a great listener, which is so important when evaluating. I can see the comfort that you're in. It's become your comfort zone to be doing the evaluation. And Sujana, every time that I see you from the very first time, you are growing and growing each time, becoming more and more animated. I see you smiling more now than ever before, which I think is so important, especially on Zoom, to almost like we need to over smile, because that's really what's getting the point across these days. So, just keep that in mind. And again, you're a great listener using the cookie Oreo method. You both did a great job doing that as well. Our meeting started on time. Our guest, Emily, was welcomed. Emily from New York, thank you. I hope that you're not going to be here next week, but the following week. And there is no problem in you joining us, because even once we go live, we're still going to be Zooming, because there are going to be a lot of people that are going to Zoom. So if you can't make the meeting, you can still Zoom in. Dignitaries were acknowledged, Hyan Green, and our Toastmaster carried the applause all the way through the meeting. Our meeting roles were explained, except for the evaluator. There were transitions. The transitions were proper between our speeches, were very smooth. And Shay, I love your feedbacks. You are, again, you're such a good listener. Not only are you juggling everything that you have to do with Toastmasters and be the Toastmaster of the evening, but in addition to that, you're really tuning in and listening to what's going on at the speeches. So your feedback is wonderful to hear every time. The meeting will end on time. Our theme was stated, make each day your masterpiece. I love that. I love visuals like that. And I wrote it down, and I'm going to use that this week. I think it's great. Our topics were appropriate for our audience. And So I just want to say that, you know, our table topics were great. You did a great job, Denny, as you do every week. I found you a little low-key and reserved, which kind of threw me for a loop because you're usually kind of upbeat, but I like the reserve also. It was very well done. Kind of mysterious tonight. Speech evaluators, like I said, were wonderful. At this time, why don't we get a timer's report?
Madam General Timer, all speeches were within the allotted time. Then no one went over.
Okay, great. And we did our counter, and did we do the grammarian report? Yes, okay, we did. All right. So I just want to say one last thing, that Monday night, and I know you've heard me say this before, has become so special, and it's so motivating and inspiring for me, because this week, making each day your masterpiece is going to be a great visual for me. But this has become our masterpiece. And if we think of Toastmasters as a masterpiece that we're creating, not only in our life, in each of our lives, but for every one of us, because together we are the masterpiece. So this concludes my evaluation section of the meeting. Please welcome Toastmaster Shay Greaves. Toastmaster Shay Greaves.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Connie. That was so beautifully said. Very thorough in your evaluation and covering of all dynamics, including our guests, our roles, our speakers. So I thank you so much for just being present and leaning in that way. In closing, we'd like to present our awards for the speech of the evening, our table topics, and evaluator. We have those ready, Ray. Just give me a second. I'll go ahead and share.
Are you going to mention them, or am I?
I can't see. I wasn't able to see them, so you're going to have to. And I'll just share my screen if you can hear me still.
Sure thing. 1 second. Closed. Here we go. In first place for formal speaker, Ray Melendez. In first place for table topics, Julie Graves. And in first place for evaluator, Micheline Nembard. A round of applause to everybody. Everybody did a great job.
Good job, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster Ray. Stop screen share. Okay. So in closing, I'd just like to remind you, in your own way, you have the power to make your day a masterpiece. Calling back thank you so much for your participation. It's been my pleasure to serve as your Toastmaster of the day. Calling back, Chastri Stewart, President.
And thank you, Shay, for doing such a wonderful job for the second week in a row. You do such an incredible job. Your energy, your smile is contagious, and it really permeates through the whole Zoom platform. So I appreciate you for being our Toastmaster of the week. And that means we do have an opening for April the 5th, Toastmaster of the Day. So challenge yourself. If you feel like you're ready, if you're a newer member and you feel like you're ready to be Toastmaster of the Day, you have a lot of support. You can reach out to me, Shay, Yon, Justin, Ray, any of the executive team, and we'll provide you with that support. But step out of your comfort zone and try to do that. So April the 5th. Any takers?
I recommend Ray.
You recommend Ray?
Come on, Ray. You can do it.
Second the recommendation.
I can do it.
Second
I just,
motion.
I just have something that day. Let me
Oh, okay.
let me confirm.
All right. We'll take it on the next week.
I'm
All right, awesome. So let me highlight our guest, our only guest, Emily. I really enjoyed your table topics. I really did. And thank you so much for joining our meeting tonight. If you can just share a few takeaways, key takeaways that you got from our meeting tonight.
Well, I was really impressed with just the quality of like the topics and the sincerity of the speakers and just the sharing of personal stories. I really loved it. I really appreciate everything that you're bringing to this arena. And also the how would I say it? Sorry, I just said, I heard myself. Just the interest in really growing and improving. I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you.
like Connie stated and I stated at the beginning of the meeting, April 5th is the next usual meeting, regular meeting, because next week we have a special meeting for our members, but feel free to join April the 5th. And if you'd like to stay behind to speak to Micheline, who is our VP of membership, she will give you some additional information, okay?
Great, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, so a few announcements. Well, actually, Ian, is there anything that you'd like to share? I know that you wanted to talk about the murder mystery. You could probably.
Yes,
yeah.
Murder Mystery this coming Friday, the 26th, starts at 6 p.m., ends at 8 p.m. You have, or if you haven't, you will get the invitation pretty soon, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Many of us have been practicing.
All right.
And
awesome.
the winner, the first person who gets the murderer correctly will get a prize.
Awesome.
What do you mean that you've been practicing? So what about the other members?
Some of us, the area directors. Basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so please support our one and only Jan Green on Friday, 26th at 6 p.m. And I'll make sure that I'll send that to you, or Micheline will send that out to the group. All right, so a few announcements. Number one, Moments of Truth next week, March the 29th. It's at Commons Park. It's a physical location, physical meeting where we'll discuss different things, pathways of mentorship, and then also our executive team will be discussing their roles and what we could do to improve our Zoom platform and to improve our club. Okay, so that's the Moments of Truth, March the 29th, which is next week. We also had a poll for food, where we'll be ordering food, vegan, vegetarian, and I think there was another type there. But Gary provided that poll. If you have not voted, you could send me an email or shoot me a text, or shoot the text in the group chat, and then we'll add you to that. Okay, dues are due. Jack is accepting dues. So we're really trying to get everything paid by the end of the month. Actually, the end of the month is the deadline. So by April 1st, it starts a new 6 months. So if you can, please provide payment to Jack. And Jack, I believe you have Venmo, right? You're on mute, Jack.
Yes, it's easy to Venmo. It's $70, and it's Jack-Miller-94 on Venmo. Most of us have paid, and we're looking pretty good, but there are a few of us out there. I'll get an email out to those that don't get it covered by the end of the night so that we can do our best.
Awesome. I didn't know you were that young, Jack. 94. Wow. You look fabulous, by the way. All right. Third, like I said, we do need a Toastmaster for April the 5th. So Ray will get back to us in that regard. If there's no other announcements, we will conclude. Shay, go ahead.
I have one question. Not one question, I'm sorry. If you declined the meeting last week of coming to Commons Park, it's not too late to say you're coming, so you can change your mind. Just saying it, just letting everyone know.
Okay, and I just encourage you to go ahead and when you're planning to participate on the agenda, you can go ahead and sign up for more than 1 week. That way you have it already set. You don't have to worry about last minute signups or any confusion. There's more preparation.
And Ray, if you cannot do it on April 5th, I can do that week.
Thank you. I'll let you know. I'll confirm probably by tomorrow. Thank you.
And I have a question. I would like to do my icebreaker. So do I schedule that as a speaker or is that something special?
No, you schedule that as a speaker. So you'll take one spot in the agenda.
Okay.
And yeah, you'll have the drop down. Your mentor, who's your mentor?
I am.
Gary.
Okay, so Justin will get
Justin
will
sorry.
get with you. Yeah, Justin will get with you in that regard. He'll show you exactly what you need to do.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
And if you want, I can add you now. Do you have a date? We can put it on the agenda now.
The
And-
5th
Okay.
of April.
Yay, good. Woo-hoo.
Awesome. Thank you
Just
for
for
doing that.
clarification, the meeting still starts, we'd like people there at 6:30. The meeting starts at 6:55.
Where you mean for the 5th?
Next week at the park, yeah.
Next week.
No, it's actually 6:25 is registration attendance, and then 6:30, that's when we'll have the mingle and eat and that type of stuff. And then at 7, we'll actually start the networking and the meeting section.
Good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
because we definitely want to catch up on everyone's lives, you know?
So try and get there by 6.
Yeah. So if you could get there at 6, that's fine. Who's laughing?
Oh
Okay.
my God, I'm so excited. I'm gonna get to see everybody's body,
Yeah.
the whole picture.
Make sure everyone wear their masks.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. And then awesome job, Woodland, by the way. You did an awesome job. And Emily, this is a testament because Woodland is very, very, well, he was very shy, and you definitely start to see the shell starting to crack, and he's really coming into his own. So that's just a testament of what we do here. Julie, you wanted to say something?
I was just saying, I'll do my icebreaker on the 5th also.
Awesome, great. We have some competition going on here. Good.
Sisterly love, no competition.
Yeah.
We lift each other up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Awesome.
Guys, just so you know, there's already 2 speakers
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
but maybe I won't then. Never mind.
No, that's okay. I think we can ask one of them to switch. I'll
Okay.
reach out. I'll reach out to Stacy and Mark and see which one
Good.
wanted. I'm pretty sure they will give it up.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Awesome. So we at 8:05. This now concludes our meeting. Meeting adjourned.
Bye. This is
Bye.
awesome.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Make
So
it
we'll
a
have
pass.